Social Spotlight is something I found very interesting in my readings. Once I found this article, I loved reading the study for how much it caught my eye. Today, when I go out in public, I can spot few concepts based on Social Spotlight, and I find it very interesting because it's just something that everyone does, and we don't really notice we do it. So this is reason why I found it interesting. My article I found was The Social Spotlight Increases Blindness to Change Blindness, and this was done by TJ Lawson in 2010. So for the research groups, there was a no change group. This was where there were many sessions where there would be a target person, and this target person will not change sweatshirts, compared to the change group, where the target person would change from a plain gray sweatshirt to a khaki American Eagle sweatshirt. During these sessions, there were two people. You were either a target person, and then you were either an observer. The observers were just there to take place and notice if there was a change in the sweatshirts. And the target person was there, and they were the person who changed sweatshirts, so they did not change sweatshirts depending on which research group they were in. There were 43 sessions. There were 20 no-change sessions and 23 change sessions. 4 sessions were dropped due to participants' comments or a target person was seen before session. This would cause the disruption of the study, because if someone would say something, then everyone would notice it, and then they would have to change it, and then it wouldn't really be accurate. There was 175 undergraduates who took place in these studies. 39 of them were target people. Out of these target people, there were 23 women and 16 men. 136 were observers, 91 were women, and 45 were men. 79% of the sessions contained 2 or 4 target persons, and 18% had 5 target persons, as of one session had a total of 7 target persons. So for the procedure, there were participants signed up for class for a 10-minute extra credit session. They didn't really know what they were doing, but they know they were going for extra credit, and they were going for their psychology classes. The change session, how that would do is the target person and everyone would fill out a questionnaire. Once the questionnaires were filled out, the target person was asked to go to a different room. Before they went to the different room, they were wearing just the plain gray sweatshirt. They would go to a different room, and they would do it. They would just ask, like, hey, can we use your help to come get a box and bring it in here? Because they were playing games and stuff to take their mind off of what they were doing. So once they would go into the different room, the target person would change from the plain gray sweatshirt to the khaki American Eagle sweatshirt. They would then fill out another questionnaire about how many people they think would notice their change in sweatshirt. The target person would then go back to the room, and the group was still playing the games and then playing memory games and stuff, and the rest of the group would fill out the questionnaire to see if they could remember anything about the target person. In the no change session, the target person would enter the room already wearing the khaki American Eagle sweatshirt. There would be no gray sweatshirt taking place. So research results were the change blindness. This was about 13% of observers accurately described the change in sweatshirt. So, and target overestimated the people who accurately described their change in sweatshirt. So it was the change blindness because target people thought that more people would notice them, but in reality, not as many people noticed them as they thought. There was still a big gap of how many people noticed that they would think. They did notice that changing color was easier than the brand. In the questionnaire, they were looking for what brand the sweatshirt was, but they could really just tell that it was khaki compared to gray, is what most people knew. The target person believed that more people paid attention to them than the amount of people that actually paid attention to them. So the target person estimated about 58% of people would notice that they changed sweatshirts and the brand and everything. In reality, 13% of observers correctly noticed the change in sweatshirt. My thoughts were the observers were too focused on the memory game and the other games that they were playing, so they weren't really paying attention to the target person. I thought they were too focused on the game because they were split into teams and they were focused on winning in the game. They don't really, when you're focused on one thing, they don't really pay attention to something else. So if they were really intrigued into the games and stuff, I don't think they would have noticed anything that went on outside of the game. The questionnaire, I thought the questionnaire was also bland because it just asked if the questionnaire has asked the notice anything different about the target person. So there are a lot of different topics off of the sweatshirt, like their shoes and their hair and their personality and stuff. So, and then also the observers gave less attention to the American Eagle logo and focused more on the color of the sweatshirt. As I said, no one really paid attention that it had an American Eagle sweatshirt on it, or logo on it. Most of the time the American Eagle logos are quite small anyway, so I don't think many people got close enough to pay attention or to see. It's really easy to notice a change in color, not always, but it's a lot easier to change the color than labels and brands.